Hi, this is Eric. Today I want to show you the fastest way to keep up with top-level Grandmaster games. The great thing about this is that you can do this on the go from any browser. The website is 2700chess.com. I do want to mention that I have used ICC, Chess24, and Lichess to follow games, but the nice thing is with the 2700chess.com site, only games by 2700s are listed, so there's no sorting or hunting to do. You just find all the games in one place. And the great thing is, on the right-hand side of the page, they show the results of each of the games, and if you kind of put your mouse over the blue text, you can see the final position of each game load up. So I'm going to show you just how long it takes to go through all the decisive games for one day, and the day in question is Tuesday, 29th of January. So let me click on this, and there are 4 decisive games I see here: Nakamura Svane, Navarra Grandelius, Aleksenko Nidich, and Mammadov Karthikeyan. So let's just see how long this takes. I think it probably won't take more than 8 minutes or so. So this is a very good way to conveniently keep up with the chess news. And you could basically interpret this as just keeping up with the news, but it's chess. So anyway, you click on the result, you click on the blue text, and then all I'm going to do is just click the play sign, and I'm just going to try to follow along, and basically I'm mentally playing Guess the Move. So this is the game Nakamura Svane. They started off as an advanced Karl Khan. Nakamura played h4, h5, bishop d3. That's an interesting line to trade off the opponent's bad bishop. Plays knight d2, e6. Knight e2, queen a6, trying to trade queens. Very interesting. c4, c5. So Nakamura keeps the queens on, apparently liking his lead in development. That b4 move was pretty surprising. So the black queen on b5 is a little vulnerable, but not easy to attack. But at the same time, white has this excellent d6 square. Knight c3, another nice move, but that d6 square is a huge square for white. So presumably black already has a lost position. Nice maneuver by white, bishop c1, and then bishop to e3. Plays f4, undermining the e5 pawn. Bishop g3. Rook takes f7. So I know that flashed through very quickly, but the point is that if you want to look through a lot of games in one day, this is a very efficient and convenient way to do so. And I want to point out that the reason why the sacrifice was playable is because the bishop is lined up with the king on b8. So after rook takes, there's d7 check. Okay, it's not letting me play the move, but anyway, that's the winning move. So let me go back, and we'll just go back and look at the next game. So the next game was Navarra Grandelius. Let's see how long this one takes. This one went e4, c5, knight f3, d6. Okay, he plays bishop b5, knight d7, bishop a4. It's kind of an unexpected move, and he castles and doesn't defend the e4 pawn. All right, very interesting. Then he plays c4 and knight c3. This is very interesting prep. The pawn structure is a little hard to play with white with the c4, d3, e4 structure, but it does have a little bit of a space advantage. Rook a b1, nice move to prepare b4. Nice pawn break there. So white definitely has a little bit of a space advantage. Black plays knight e5, take, and white wins a pawn. Bishop takes e5. Undefended pieces tactic with the bishop on b7. Okay, queen e3, rook a b8, rook b3, nice sliding move, f4, king f2, nice move defending the queen, e5. So basically black's bishop on e7 is shut out, white has an extra pawn, very good control over the position, trades rooks on b8, knight to e2. So basically black has these 2 isolated pawns, and he's a pawn down in this endgame, probably already losing. a4, nice move. Knight c1 coming into b3. Okay. c5. So now white's going to try to advance the pawn forward. c6. Yep. Knight c5. Bishop c8 preparing knight a6. Knight a6. c7. Very nice. So the bishop is keeping an eye on c8. And now knight c5. And now he's going to win the e6 pawn. Yep. Take. Knight takes e6. And then g4. Take. And black resigns because white's f-pawn is just going to run right forward. Going to play f5 next move, take, or just simply king to e4 next move. Either one of those plans is winning. So Another very nice game. It was a 51 move game, but we're able to play through it quite quickly. And part of the point here is that as you get better at looking through games quickly, you want to try to identify the important features of the game as quickly as possible. So, you kind of pay attention to how both sides developed, how they brought their pieces out, what they tried to do, why one side won the game, how they put pressure on the opponent, and eventually over time, if you've done this, let's say, if this is your first time, it's going to be very hard to follow the game so quickly. But the point is that over time, let's say you've done this every day for 6 months, you'll probably be pretty good at picking up and identifying the main core features of each game. Let me go back. Okay, so we'll look over the last 2 decisive games. Aleksinko Knightic. All right, I'm just going to click on play. E4, E5, knight f3, knight c6. Bishop e5, knight f6, Berlin. He plays d3, the anti-Berlin, d6. Castle bishop e7, c3, castle rook e1. All right, white kind of signals that he's just going to play kind of quietly. h3, bishop c2. Okay. g4. All right, well, white has a pretty big space advantage here. Knight to g3. Yep. Queen e2. Okay. f6. h4, h5, very aggressive. It looks like Knightic is the one playing white, even though Knightic is playing black here. So, by the way, you can see the ratings of the players on the top left. Aleksinko 2637 and Knightic 2734. So, quite an interesting position here so far. Knight gf5, knight f8, king h2, rook g1. Typical sort of plan for white. Queen e2, the knight's coming back. Okay. Knight f3. Knight takes e5, gets to win a pawn. Knight d3 guarding the f4 square. Ah, he sacrifices a piece. Wow. Rook h1. Take, take. Ah, he sacrifices his queen because he has the potential to mate the opponent's king. Wow. Wow. So how much is he down here? He has a rook and knight versus the queen. Wow, look at that white king there. That is amazing. Rook h7, knight takes f4, check, king d3. Wow. What a powerful and amazing game. And the great thing about following the games this way is you really don't miss any of these great masterpieces. So in this final position, black resigned because if g takes f4, we just play e5 check, king to d5, and then c4 is mate. So it probably won't let me make the moves, but e5, king to d5, and c4 mate. So that was a phenomenal queen sacrifice played by Aleksinko, and he started off with a piece sacrifice and followed up with a queen sacrifice. So that was an amazing game, and the great thing about this is let's say you follow only 4 decisive games, and the reason I'm looking at the decisive games is these ones were the most impressive, and of course I like to see how games are won and lost. I like to see kind of what was necessary to push the opponent into a lost position. So this is a very good way to keep up with the games. And essentially, the other point is that if there are some really amazing games, you will know them, you will know which ones to look at, and you can just go back and easily check them out. So with these particular games in question, I'm definitely going to come back and take a look at this Aleksinko Knightic game again, just because of the amazing queen sacrifice and the earlier knight sacrifice. So if there are 4 or 5 decisive games, maybe 1 or 2 of the games you'll want to check out in depth. So you might spend 10 minutes actually going through the game, and then or going through all 5 of the games, and then maybe another 20, 30 minutes actually playing through the most interesting ones or most exciting moments of the best games. So let's take a look at this last one. This one was Mammadov Karthikeyan. C5, okay. Advanced Karo, knight f3, take. White plays the a3 line, f6, b4, bishop e2, okay. c4, take, take, take. Knight f6, yeah, that's a good move. That might have been a little unexpected. Knight c3 castle, okay, isolated d-pawn, a5, b5, bishop e6, castle, bishop d6. Okay, white tries queen d4. Seems a little awkward, though. Take, take. The queen's getting pushed around a little bit. Queen d4, bishop f5, bishop d3. All right, still seems to be solid. g3, knight g4. Rook A D1, Rook C D8, Queen B3, H4. Okay, the queen comes back. Rook Fe1, Rook F8, Rook E2, King H8, Rook D4, H5. Yeah, that's a good place for the knight. F3, Knight H6, F4, Knight F5. This seems pretty loose for White's king. Rook takes E7, Queen takes E7, Queen F3, check. King F2, check. King G2, Rook E8. Okay. Take, check, check. Okay. So he checks again, and he's preparing to take. Yeah. Check, check, Queen F7. Aha. So he has the endgame up the exchange for 2 pawns. Rook C4, Knight B6, and then he wins the A3 pawn. Check, King D2, Rook takes A3, Rook B3, take, take. This should be a win because of the passed B pawn and the active king. Rook C5, G4, B5, F5, check. He just went back, King F7, okay. King F6, King E5. Oh, wow. Okay, so the king is cut off. F6, B3, F7, B2. Aha, take, King C2, check. King B1, King D4, Knight F5, check. King C3, Knight E3, King to B3. Wow, whew, what a close game. So the player with white was 27-03, player with black was 25-70. Very well played game, but these were some great games, and I think, as you can see, you can keep up with the games. The great thing is that you just you press the play button and you don't even have to move anything. So get to follow all the games, and really your focus is drawn to the most interesting games. So whatever you find really fascinating, you can just easily go back and analyze on your own or analyze in more depth. So this is what I have found to be by far the most efficient and enjoyable way to keep up with all the games. Of course, you can use light chess and you can use chess24, but here your focus is drawn to the 4, 5, however many decisive games there are for a day. Then you just can press play, sit back, try to focus, and just follow along. And one thing is that oftentimes, if you're just kind of clicking mindlessly, when, like I have done many times on ICC, you load up a game, you just go click, 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 click. Sometimes you're just not quite focusing. And so the nice thing about this is that I just sit back, I press play, and I just follow along, and I try my best to at least have some kind of understanding of what was going on and try to develop some narrative. So I hope this is helpful for you.